The TVWan News is proudly brought to you by
BSP, our bank, our people.
Hello and thanks for joining us. This is TVWan News. I'm Carol Kiru Jr.
And I'm Rex Litter. Join me later for your sporting details.
In this edition, Minister emphasizes need in strengthening government structures, school awaits first installment of TFF subsidy, and Wagitumbe ready for comeback. $296 million kina was paid to schools throughout the country in early January 2024 before the start of the academic year this week. The funding is provided under the tuition fee subsidy scheme that is to boost academic excellence in all schools.
The government committed a total of $856 million for the 2024 academic year. This would cover for all government-run educational institutions in the country. When disbursing the first installment for Term 1 a few weeks ago, Prime Minister James Marape called for a collaborative effort, highlighting the shared responsibility between the government, parents and citizens. Meanwhile, Gordon Secondary School in the nation's capital has yet to confirm their component of the first quota payment. This is purposely for the school's 2024 operations, including their major school hall project that is currently under construction, according to Principal George Kenega.
We are told monies were paid into the school accounts, but I did not check. We have a project that is going on, a school assembly hall. Our old one was built back in 1972. That can only cater for roughly 200 students. So because the school has expanded over time, student numbers have increased and all that. So we are now, we want to propose for a modern school hall, which is now under construction.
However, the government has encouraged parents to actively participate in supporting schools through various means, such as contributing resources, working for the school, ensuring security, and engaging in activities that benefit the educational institutions. Jane Budo, TVWan News.
After Gordon Secondary School's 50th anniversary celebration in September of 2022, Principal George Kenega says the main school hall is the major project they aim to complete. Principal Kenega shared that funds were raised through various events, including the celebration of the 50th anniversary 2 years ago. Now the school hall is in construction. The school hall is among most of the buildings that need renovations. The school hopes to complete the project this year.
We have a project that is going on, a school assembly hall. Our old one was built back in 1972. That can only cater for roughly 200 students. So because the school has expanded over time, student numbers have increased and all that. So we are now, we want to propose for a modern school hall, which is now under construction. The school board of governors have given the okay and they paid some money already to start. So they're starting and we're charging students a project fee of 500 kina. Most parents have agreed, and it's not through me, it's through the school board. So we're doing that. Our aim is to get quality results for our students. The school hall is going to help. It's a building, one of the buildings that will help in facilitating and making sure that we run the programs that we run in the school.
In a meeting held recently, Acting Secretary for National Planning, Connie Samuel, welcomed Minister Sir Anopala and his staff, briefing him on the mandate and functions of the department and its various wings and divisions. When taking office, Sir Ano is adamant about strengthening government structures.
Sir Ano held a crucial meeting on Friday, the 26th of January 2024, with the senior management team of the Department of National Planning and Monitoring. Acting Secretary Connie Samuel and his two deputy secretaries, Michael Kumung from the Policy and Planning Wing and Roger Kara from the Programming and Monitoring Wing, met with the minister to formally meet. Apart from being the Rigo MP, Sir Ano has an extensive background in public service and has served in various ministerial portfolios in agriculture, foreign affairs, transport, mining, and being the Attorney General, in addition to his current role. Sir Ano expressed empathy towards the goals and mandate of the department and its staff. Sir Ano emphasizes the need to strengthen the parliament and government structures, adding that the fundamental of progress as a nation depends on an effective partnership between leaders of parliament and government institutions. He advised that although politicians come and go setting the path, the organization must work in partnership to produce best results. He reassured the department of his full support, pledging to continue the positive work initiated by the former minister. Jasmine Erojak, TVWan News.
The Transparency International PNG released the results of the 2023 Corruption Perceptions Index on Monday afternoon in Port Moresby. Countries are scored on a scale of 0 to 100, 100 being very clean and 0 being highly corrupt. On the 2023 Corruption Perceptions Index, Papua New Guinea scored 29 points out of 100, which reflects a high perceived risk of encountering corruption in interactions with the public sector in the country.
The Corruption Perception Index is a report that scores countries and territories around the world that record perceptions of public sector corruption. The scores reflect the surveyed views of economic experts and business people, not the general public. Whilst presenting the results of the 2023 CPI, Chairman of Transparency International PNG Peter Aichi raised concerns that the nation still seemed not to be making meaningful impact on reducing levels of corruption in the public sector.
Clearly, we're not making an impact in terms of reducing corruption in our country. We've gone beyond a wake-up call. We should be ringing the alarm bells. Once again, I remind us on the 10th of January is an indicator of that growing divide between those that have and those that don't. And as our systems break down, that's the kind of risk that we face.
Mr. Aichi acknowledged the government's efforts in tackling corruption as demonstrated through the recent interventions, including the amendment of the Proceeds of Crime Act with unexplained wealth provisions, the enacting of the Whistleblowers Act, the enacting of the Independent Commission Against Corruption, appointing commissioners and funding operationalization through the national budget, and the inclusion of governance within the medium-term development plan for 2023 to 2027. He mentioned that as PNG prepares its second cycle country report under the United Nations Convention Against Corruption, TIPNG believes that there is an opportunity to strengthen national anti-corruption coordination.
One of the contributors could be corruption in that mix. And as more and more of our people see a lack of advancement, a lack of progress in our nation, it undermines the trust within state institutions. If people don't see a value in the state, if they don't see themselves represented by their leaders or the state, then they've got all rights to say, they're not looking after me, so why should I believe in the state? And so it undermines trust in those institutions, the government institutions. Clearly, from a business community, we haven't seen major investment for nearly, 6-7 years now, after the PNG LNG.
TIPNG is a member of Transparency International. a global anti-corruption movement committed to fighting corruption. It is an independent organization known as a chapter of the international movement. The PNG chapter advocates against corruption and promotes transparency, good governance, honesty, and accountability both in private and public sector dealings. Freddie Mo, TVWan News.
There has been little improvement in people's lives in the country since the construction of the biggest PNG LNG project in 2009. United Nations Resident Coordinator Richard Howard made this remark during the launch of the Corruption Perception Index by Transparency International PNG in Port Moresby on Tuesday evening.
Health, education, access to clean water, and electricity are the key areas that the majority of Papua New Guineans are yet to access freely in the country. United Nations Resident Coordinator Richard Howard raised concerns that PNG needs to improve on these areas to improve the lives of the people. He says what transpired on the January 10 unrest is an indication that people are not accessing the key areas of living standards in the city, which led to the chaotic Black Wednesday. Mr. Howard admitted that PNG is a very challenging country, that agencies try their best to address the underlying challenges of corruption. He calls for a unified and holistic approach from all levels, including the government and private sectors, to address the issue of corruption in the country. Meantime, ICAC Commissioner Andrew Forbes says good governance and transparency are the key pillars that make a country corrupt-free.
That the most wealthy and successful countries can't be judged on, for example, what resources they have in that country. And that relates to my hometown of Australia, but also PNG. Her point was, if that is the measure, the richest country in the world was probably the one that was pretty close to the darkest red up there, a country called Russia. What it takes is good governance, transparency, and so on. That's what makes a good country and a good successful country. At the moment, as far as investment is concerned, my analogy is we have a bucket of which the government is desperately trying to put money into it called foreign investment, but we have too many holes in that bucket.
Freddie Mo, TVWan News.
Police vehicles distributed to commands and AIC welcomes new Chief Commissioner. These stories and more when we come back.
Experience a convenient and smarter way to do your banking with BSP Mobile Banking. You don't have to leave the office or your home to pay for bills. You can view your account balance, transfer funds, top up phone credits, or purchase Easy Pay units wherever you are. Visit your BSP branch today to register now for BSP Mobile Banking. BSP Mobile Banking, the smarter way to bank. BSP, our bank, our people.
He says the best Hunters players come from his region. So does she. But there's one thing that brings everyone together. SB Lager, Bungim Yumi.
Hiya, Mama.
You wait time, but me add him special flavor.
Put in more flavor, put in more taste. Add the kakaro, get up a big smile on face. Time for kimchi and a great kumutu. Sip, sip, the mumu, yes, magic on you.
Maggi, the taste PNG loves.
Open it.
Enjoying life when we work together, making happy memories that last forever. Hot in talk, young or old, a scale race family meal with home. We'll bring out the smiles, cause it's a favorite of mine. Tennessee cola, scare rice, long scales, air price. Tennessee cola, scare rice, long scales, air price. Amber, you like it? Superstition ain't the way.
Feel it? Feel it? The anticipation, the pulse of the game, it's coming. Something monumental. Get ready for the NRL season 2024. Get ready to witness history in the making.
Guess who's back?
So much evidence, so many possibilities.
Your favorite crime-fighting squads, and they mean business.
It's okay.
I got her back off!
If your head is not 100% in the game, it'll get you killed.
Drugs, sex, revenge. Killers always leave a trail.
Be vigilant out there. Get ready for an adrenaline-pumping surge of justice and action coming soon. Only on AXN.
Welcome back. About 4 police vehicles were distributed to the NCD Police Command today in Port Moresby. 2 of the vehicles were distributed to the 6 Mile Police Station, and the other 2 vehicles were distributed to the 7 Mile Police Station. The new fleet will boost the work of the police to counter lawlessness in Port Moresby Northwest.
It was a small yet significant event for the 6 Mile and 7 Mile police stations as Police Commissioner David Manning officially handed over the vehicle keys to the respective police stations. When speaking to the police personnel, Manning said the vehicle was brought from the 2024 budget allocated to the police department from taxpayers' money. And he urged policemen and women to use the vehicle specifically for its intended purpose.
Carla and Carlo money don't taxpayers doing. You may acknowledge him, not thinking of government, but the people, the communities we serve, Lili Kaki Solvania and Baimol Kardemilo, Anulipla, Lohanmo.
Manning said the purpose of issuing the vehicle to 6 Mile Police Station is due to their good reputation. They have shown good working ethics and importantly upheld good behavior during the civil unrest on January 10th.
6 Mile Police Station and one of the station. You can talk. Walk over and smart. That's why I talk, okay, one more station by Kissing Pass, without giving a 6 Mile passing.
He urged the police personnel to refrain from asking clients for money to purchase fuel in order to attend to their complaints now that they have a vehicle.
If you're something and use the car, you will not talk or say, you mean what car, you mean style or forcing or man or complaining style or talking about buying really petrol, buying my car, and come complain people.
The same message was also relayed to the 7 Mile police officers. Manning warned police officers not to misuse vehicles or will be dealt with administratively.
Reminded your colleagues from 6 Mile what happens if you damage one of these vehicles. It's been said many, many times before. My predecessors have said the same thing and I will say the same thing again. If you're caught misusing these vehicles, if you're caught through recklessness, damaging these vehicles, you might as well resign.
Meanwhile, the brand new vehicle contained a tracking device and camera. Tracy Pa, TVWan News.
People who are still in possession of looted items will be arrested and charged, says Acting Commander for NCD Central Command, Peter Guinness. Guinness said despite the ending of the state of emergency, police are still monitoring people holding onto stolen items as investigations continue into the January 10 unrest. He said police will only raid houses if they receive reports relating to the looted items. Guinness said remorse circulating regarding the announcement by Brian Bell for not wanting the items is false. Police are urging people to return all looted items to the police. The ACP Guinness added that the items are now under insurance. Papua New Guinea Accident Investigation Commission, in a significant occasion today, saw the announcement of their newly appointed Chief Commissioner, Marianne Wall. The ceremony, which took place at the AIC headquarters at 6 Mile, was a milestone achievement for the organization after a long while of having the position vacant.
The welcoming ceremony program for the newly appointed Chief Commissioner for the Accident Investigation Commission, Mary J. Wall, was a milestone achievement for the organization. Agency representatives under the Transport and Civil Aviation Department witnessed the event and congratulated the Chief Commissioner for taking up the challenge. Secretary for the Department of Transport, Roy Momo, said he had trust in Wall to help elevate the work of the AIC.
Chief Commissioner Marianne Wai, you will lead AIC with your commissioners. Captain Boraga is here, CEO Raymond Wai is here, and his officers to the next level. We will support you.
Chief Commissioner Wall said taking up the position reflects trust from AIC to continue the work of Chief Commissioner. Chief Commissioner Wall met all requirements of the position. She expressed gratitude to the Minister for Transport and Civil Aviation, Walter Schnobel, for validating her for the position. The position had been vacant since the former AIC Chief Commissioner resigned in 2022. Chief Commissioner Wall is determined to give her best in overseeing AIC responsibilities.
I say all this simply to let you know that I am acutely aware that I am joining an organization that is efficiently and professionally managed, and acknowledge the contributions of the people who made it the organization that it is today. I intend to match your dedication and commitment to AIC, be part of the team, and contribute meaningfully in every way that I can.
Acting CEO for AIC, Raymond Vai, welcomed Chief Commissioner Wall and congratulated her on meeting the different and difficult requirements. Agencies present during the ceremony were the Department of Transport, National Airports Corporation, and PNG Accident Investigation, as well as 6 other distinguished agency representatives. Roland Dennis, TVWan News.
Governor Sasindran Mutaville presented a check of 100,000 kina this week to the Kimbe Mama Bank branch. Manager Danny On received the funding as counter-funding, where both men and women running an SME can access small loans. Women's nominated member Maria Ante witnessed the check presentation. Governor Mutaville urged Mama Bank to assist the SMEs in accessing loans without much red tape. During his speech, Governor Mutaville stated that the reason for giving the funding was to encourage Women's Microbank to give small loans of at least 1,000 kina to the market mothers. He explained that this would enable them to continue providing services to people while also generating income, and they should repay it so that the funds could be rotated and more people can benefit from it. Mr. On is compiling a plan on how the 100,000 kina will be drawn down to assist the market vendors. This includes the applicant having a minimum of 300 kina in their savings account to qualify for a 1,000 kina loan.
So, for example, if a mother wants to come and apply or access the funding, she must have an account with Mama Bank, open an account, put 30% which is 300 kina, and apply for 1,000 which is the limit for that. At least reach implant your mama because money in the whole province.
But what people like him, bank no can make him kind condition whereby this minimum amount is not honored. So you know like in bank by very low, but as low as 1,000 kina must be lent to people so that the small people, the roadside market mothers can benefit from this scheme.
And now the finance news. The kina closed unchanged at $0.2675 in the interbank market. At Bank South Pacific, our kina was buying $0.2600 $0.3913 Australian dollars, $0.2310 euro, and 38.20 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices at New York close, all closed higher except crude oil, which closed the day lower. And on the stock market, the Dow Jones closed higher, ASX closed higher, and all ordinaries closed higher as well. TVWan News continues after the break with regional news. Stay with us.
Experience a convenient and smarter way to do your banking with BSB Mobile Banking. You don't have to leave the office or your home to pay for bills. You can view your account balance, transfer funds, top up phone credits, or purchase Easy Pay units wherever you are. Visit your BSB branch today to register now for BSB Mobile Banking. BSB Mobile Banking, the smarter way to bank. BSB, our bank, our people.
A true champion is measured by their courage, their determination, and their passion to never give up and to always keep trying. With a delicious Milo and milk taste and added nutrients, Milo and milk is a great way to fuel our little champions with nourishing energy every day. Because true champions give it their all.
Milo, PNG and Mia. Prime PNG made.
Number One Super wants members super to last as long as possible in retirement. With Number One Super's retirement savings account, you get regular payments while the balance remains invested and continues to grow, helping your super savings last longer. It's like still getting paid even when you stopped working. Number One's retirement savings account. Contact us today to find out more.
Strong like you, smart like me. I hope they don't break. Now Charlie look his son. This is Relaxo. Strong plus shred. Should I try them on you?
No, please. I'll take them.
Relaxo. Very strong, lasts long.
Get ready for more! Digicell's new Big Plus Supersized Data Plans. Now with more options, more plans, and more time. Choose from our daily plans, now valid for 24 hours, weekly plans, or even a monthly plan from our suite of Big Plus Supersized Data Plans. All with more data and starting from as low as 1 kina. Yes, you heard right. What's up, that's all? Yes, yeah! Only Digicell's Big Plus Supersized Data Plans gives you more. Activate today on My Digicell app or dial *675# only with Digicell.
See the toughest fighters in MMA in a whole new light.
I had to show my true heart.
MMA 30 is your window into their lives.
These are my horses, my childhood house.
My judo is a huge asset for me.
An exclusive all-access pass.
We're here for his bachelor party.
With your favorite stars of the sport.
I want to be known as one of the greatest.
Watch MMA 30, only on Fight Sports.
7 years back. Number soon we're going to be 8.
The Busbys are back.
Everybody's growing up. Quints are getting older.
Who my team?
Oh my goodness. Blake's getting older. Tell mommy to relax.
Relax.
Still chaotic. But how often do things go perfectly?
Not often.
Outdaughtered starts Thursday, February 15 on TLC.
Welcome back. Transparency International says the latest Corruption Perception Index shows another year of little to no meaningful progress towards curbing corruption in the Asia-Pacific region. Transparency International has released its 2023 report based on a point system. Other than New Zealand and Australia, Fiji is the highest-ranked Pacific country, coming in 53rd. Fiji has 53 points out of a possible 100. Vanuatu is 61st with 48 points and Solomon Islands is 70th with 43 points. Then it's a drop to Papua New Guinea in 133rd with 29 points. Transparency International said the Asia-Pacific region shows long-term stagnation, although some countries historically at the top are backsliding. The report says while there's a steady influx of economic, military or financial incentives to support development and climate goals, many Pacific countries have weak governance systems. Western Australia's public schools will be fully funded by 2026 after the federal and state governments reached a landmark agreement that could be replicated in other jurisdictions. The agreement is the first of 8 that need to be negotiated with state and territory governments this year and sets a precedent for similar arrangements elsewhere.
So, like you mentioned, this is an agreement to fully fund public schools in Western Australia within 2 years by 2026. Now, they're going to get a pretty big lump of money from the federal government in WA, $777.4 million. But that's going to be spread over 5 years. Now, we know that around Australia, public schools in every state and territory except the ACT are on average underfunded, whereas private schools are actually funded at or above the school resourcing standard on average, according to a recent independent review that was done for the federal government of the school system. Now, a key part of this deal with WA and the Commonwealth is that the Western Australian government is also going to have to pitch in an equivalent amount of money. So we're talking, you know, what's double $777 million, quite a bit. But while the two governments at the Commonwealth and state level seem pretty chuffed with their deal, the opposition spokesperson for education, Sarah Henderson, isn't quite as impressed.
Well, under the Gonski funding structure, the Commonwealth is actually meeting its commitment, providing 20% of funding to public schools. So the big gap is the states. And as I mentioned, apart from the Northern Territory, which is sitting at a woeful 59%, Victoria is sitting at only 70%, not 80%. So Jason Clare has not done a good job, first of all, at making the case for reform. It's going to be a big year for the Federal Education Minister, Jason Clare, and all state and territory education ministers too, actually, because these negotiations have a way to go. They're expected to carry well into the year because every single state and territory is going to be renegotiating these funding agreements. Now, they are on schedule at the moment. The deadline was moved out to the end of 2024, so they have a little while, but with something as complex as this, there's going to be a lot of detail to work through. So this WA agreement, it's one of 8. There's plenty more to go.
I want to strike an agreement like this with every state and every territory across the country to make sure that we fully and fairly fund all our schools across the country and make sure that all our children have the benefit of the sort of reforms that we're talking about here today.
He's got his work cut out for him this year because 7 more negotiations to go for 7 more agreements.
Australia is the security partner of choice for Papua New Guinea, Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese said on Tuesday, after PNG was seeking a policing and security deal with China. Major trade partner China approached PNG last September with an offer to assist the police force with training, equipment and surveillance technology, PNG Foreign Minister Justin Kichenko said on Monday. Talks were at an early stage and PNG would not jeopardize its security ties with Australia and the United States, Kichenko added. PNG struck a $200 million Australian security pact with Australia in December to boost police training after forging a defense agreement with the US in May. However, both deals are yet to be implemented. As floodwaters recede in Queensland, many residents are left to assess the damage to their homes and begin a daunting cleanup.
Residents of Caboolture, who were among those hardest hit by the southeast Queensland floods yesterday, have begun the painstaking task of assessing the damage and beginning to clean up. The Caboolture River here behind me broke its banks early yesterday, flooding nearby homes. Katrina Bender's home backs onto the Caboolture River and has flooded twice in as many years. They woke up yesterday morning to water inundating their backyard and knew it would rise quickly. About a metre of water went into their granny flat and their garage underneath the house was completely underwater. Katrina said they were devastated they have to rebuild again.
We only just finished rebuilding our secondary dwelling and now that's ruined. It has to be redone again. So, 2 big floods in less than 2 years is, very frustrating. It's unfortunately really bad weather last couple of years.
The Moreton Bay region was among the hardest hit yesterday, with more than 100 calls made for assistance to the SES.
Solomon Islands' estimated 400,000 registered voters will go to the poll on Wednesday, 17th April this year. The date was approved at a recent meeting by the Solomon Islands Electoral Commission. According to the timetable for electioneering activities, the Governor-General is due to make the declaration for the election day on 20th February, just 2.5 weeks from now. Under the law, the Governor-General must schedule a general election to take place within 4 months of the dissolution of Parliament. The 11th Parliament was dissolved on 31st December 2023. Meanwhile, election voter lists are awaiting the approval of the Solomon Islands Electoral Commission for printing and distribution for public viewing. The Therapeutic Goods Administration has announced a new crackdown on how the cosmetic injectables industry advertises its services, saying it protects patients from dodgy practitioners. But the industry says the changes effectively ban any kind of promotion of services and mean patients won't be able to make informed decisions about their own care.
These changes are all around how services are promoted in the cosmetics injectables industry. At the moment, the rules state that service practitioners cannot advertise any specific medicines. That includes things like Botox. But the workaround for that has been to advertise in generic or colloquial terms, so things like anti-wrinkle treatments, for example. Under the new rules, practitioners will not even be able to use that kind of language around the services they provide. Now, all of this comes at a time when the cosmetics injectables industry is booming. It's estimated Australians spend about $1 billion a year on non-surgical cosmetic procedures, and that's expected to increase up to 20% year on year.
Australian medical practitioners, we are well trained, we're well educated, we're all very ethical, so they're not going to be able to get that information from us anymore. And even if someone was to, say, approach my business through a social platform, I basically have to say, sorry, I can't tell you. So it all just kind of looks a little bit sneaky. We're not able to be transparent anymore. We're not able to educate properly.
It's all about how to regulate this booming sector. The Australian Health Practitioners Regulatory Agency, or AHPRA, currently has a hotline to dob in dodgy practitioners. It's been operating for about 18 months and has 600 complaints so far, leading to about 14 practitioners being banned from providing any kind of surgical injectable services. Jason McKaiser from AHPRA does say that things like social media make it a lot easier to downplay the risks of these services.
Challenges is the cosmetic industry is really commercialised medicine, and social media makes things look really simple. But cosmetic surgery and cosmetic procedures, they're not like a haircut. A bad haircut will grow out, but cosmetic surgery and procedures have risks that might not be so easy to fix.
AHPRA currently has a public consultation open for members of the public as well as practitioners about how new guidelines can look when it comes to patient safety.
And that ends the news segment. Over to you, Rex.
Thanks, Carol. This is TVWan News. When we return, stories in boxing and the Digicel ExxonMobil Cup 2024 season.
Over the last 16 years, we have connected Papua New Guinea like nobody else ever did before. We allowed people to stay connected, in touch with today's world. But our mission went far beyond telecommunication, beyond towns and urban centers, and into the heart of this diverse archipelago. We built schools where nobody else ever did before. Clinics where people were in need of help. And never shy of reaching the last mile. But most importantly, we brought hope that a better future is possible after all. And guess what? We've only just begun our journey to ignite your hearts and your passions. Digicel, creating a better Papua New Guinea for all.
The martial arts have been practiced for centuries. Forged out of an ancient Asian world of mayhem and intimidation. But in fact, they're all about self-defense, discipline, and honor. This is XMA, the world of extreme martial arts.
Watch Extreme Martial Arts, only on Fight Sports.
Yeah. I only got one question. So is that all you got? Here we go. Here we go. You push harder. Is that all you got? You climb high, you're fast. That was magic. Who throws the try scorer? Oh, wow. Back to him. Welcome back, Michael Hooper. I only got one question. So is that all you got?
The whole idea behind drag racing is to have the lightest car possible and the most horsepower you can afford.
We've been building hot rods and race cars for years. Let's put on the crown jewel. A boosty boost? A lot of boosty boost. We take on a new challenge, a new competitor. It is on! And build vehicles we're proud of.
All with one goal in mind. We picked up some speed there.
Faster with new Vernon Cotton. Starts Saturday, February 17 on Turbo.
We all know what one motivated radical can do. So let's cowboy up, get it done, and get home to our families.
You don't understand what you're doing. I'm trying to save lives.
This is only about money.
He's gonna come after you with everything he's got.
I'm going home. The Contractor premieres Saturday, 9 p.m. on Warner TV.
Mosby South Rugby League premiers, Gabotu Dragons will represent the Southern Confederate in Lae next week, after grinding out 13-6 victory over an equally determined POM Suburban League champions, Mountain Bulls, in the grand final of the Southern Confederate Club Championships on Tuesday at the Mosby South Stadium. Both teams were undefeated throughout the elimination process since the championship started last weekend.
Gabotu Dragons' home ground advantage, coupled with the scorching Tuesday afternoon heat, proved too costly for the visiting Mosby Suburban League champions, Mountain Bulls, eventually going down 13-6 at full time. With the crowd on their side, Dragons started the game on a flyer, flexing their muscles early with intent. It eventually paid off in back-to-back fashion with tries to center Peter and back rower Siniva for a 10 points deficit before Bulls hit back with a converted try of their own through 5-8 Jonah to trail 6-10 until halftime. The moment and pace of the game intensified in the second half, but ball control left a lot to be desired as the fatigue factor and the heat started to take its toll on the players. No tries scored for the entire half, except for a successful penalty kick and a field goal to seal the deal in Dragons' favor, 13-6 at full time. And elated Dragons captain Itapa Soy attributed the win to trusting each other and discipline.
Boys will play grand final again and sometimes we'll go to place now. We back all play play pass again or big brothers number to stop nothing. But Kisimo come inside now. We can't play. No something but trust Tasona. Discipline Tasona.
Meanwhile, Mosby South Rugby League chairman and Dragons club president Bagalo Solian lamented it wasn't an easy game, saying the boys had to dig deep to come away with a victory. But overall, he was blown away by the big win.
Yeah, look, there's a lot of pressure on us. You know, it's at home, in front of our home crowd, so we're of course there's expectation, but we delivered, and that's the important thing here.
The president said for the record this is a first time for Dragons to be crowned champions of the Southern Confederate Challenge and a proud moment in the club's short history. They will now prepare for the PNG RFL National Club Championships against champions clubs from the other confederates next week.
From the Gabutu, Calgary area, no big names. Two former ISO players in Makumbi and Benson B, but that was 2 years ago. They retired playing club footy with these young boys. Most of them all under 20s from 2 years ago. So that makes the victory.
Terry Longwood, TV1 Sports.
A unique moment unfolded for the Solomon Islands Football Federation as 8 referees, including the country's first female centre referee, Shama Mamai, received FIFA accreditation for 2024. Mamai expressed gratitude for the support she received, emphasizing her journey for perseverance. Chief Referee Development Officer Hamilton Siau highlighted the referee's eligibility to officiate FIFA international events, marking a significant milestone for the Solomon Islands in global football officiating. Chief Referee Development Officer Hamilton Siau confirmed the eligibility to officiate FIFA international events, marking a significant milestone for the Solomon Islands in international football officiating. 12 Digicel ExxonMobil Cup franchise managers are currently in Port Moresby attending a 5-day conference in preparation for the 2024 season. The Papua New Guinea National Rugby League competition has specifically designed the conference to provide the club with great opportunities to prepare for the season start on 13th April.
The Digicel ExxonMobil Cup franchise managers are in conference this week in preparation for the 2024 Digicel ExxonMobil Cup season. They will have the opportunity to work directly with the PNG and RLC team in addressing management challenges emanating from the past couple of seasons and ensuring compliance and governance of the game is being professionally done at their club's level. Former NRL referee and now PNG RFL competition manager Tony Archer facilitated day one of the conference. The conference has 3 focus groups: franchise managers, head coaches, and medical trainers. PNG NRLC General Manager Leith Isaac said the timing of this conference is important as it allows a greater opportunity in early pre-season to work together closely with all clubs to lift standards in player safety, governance, compliance, player development, and coaching education in pursuit to improve professionalism.
We want to improve, I think, the whole aspect of everything in the game. So we brought in a couple of specialists to now look at how we can improve the games technically as well as operationally. And so we hope to ensure that we deliver a lot of our expectations to the franchise managers in this conference, as well as the coaches and also our sports trainers.
When giving an update on the status of the 12 participating franchise teams for 2024, Isaac confirmed 85% of the franchises are ready and on track with precision training programs. He said ideally this year they were able to release the master draw early, which allowed the teams to plan and align their training programs early.
A lot of our franchises are ready now. I think I'll say 85% of them are ready. They've got the team management in place, and I think because we sent the draws out earlier than all the other years, so we sent out our draws 1 week after QRL. So we always wait for QRL to release their draws first before we release ours because of the hunters and the home field that they, we share the same home field. So usually we've never done that, but this year we did our draws. We waited for QRL to come out with their draws, and then we released ours. And so that gave time to the franchises to really get everything in order. Most of the team management, the franchises in terms of what they want to do this year. So a lot of them are really geared up for this year as well.
In his opening address today, Chief Executive Officer of PNG RFL, Stanley Ondina, explained the game's administration is committed to seeing those involved in rugby league be given the best opportunity to grow and develop. It is their obligation to provide the tools, expertise, and create the right environment for that, and this conference is one example where they are utilizing the leading experts from Australia and within the PNG RFL system to deliver the best practice supporting the delivery of the pillars of the club professionalism as captured in the PNG NRLC strategic plan. Terry Longwood, TV1 Sports.
Jiwaka provincial flagship Wagi Tumbe is bracing itself for a highly anticipated return to the country's Premier Rugby League competition, the Digicel ExxonMobil Cup in 2024. They return after sitting out the 2023 season due to breach of participation agreement signed between Tumbe and the PNG National Rugby League competition. The franchise had to go through the normal bidding process as set by PNG NRLC before they were accepted back into the competition.
Overcoming adversity can be challenging sometimes, but after a one-year suspension from the PNG National Rugby League competition, the returning Jiwaka provincial franchise, Wagi Tumbe, are bouncing back with a bang in 2024. The team is taking a new and more proactive approach and professionalism towards the new season. Tumbe's newly appointed franchise manager, Amos Kaupa, said after the suspension, the new board did some soul-searching by going back to the drawing board to fix up discrepancies and reform itself in terms of good governance, administration, and sponsorship, and adding value to the team's financial status and sustainability as per PNG RFL advice.
We worked on the reform which the PNG RFL requested for us to work in terms of governance, administration, and sponsorship, basically giving more value into financial position for the franchise, more stability, strong administration, and football administration. That is really key areas we were asked to look into, as well as the players' development and pathway, and then aligning the leagues to the franchise. So we continue to export and market the players in Wagi.
While the team is good to go, Kaupa said they have a squad now in place dominated by local talents from across the catchment areas of Wagi, which they would like to promote and expose at the next level. This is a work in progress to align with the development pathway program.
Currently, because we have a pool of players all across Jiwaka, key players, potential players across Jiwaka, it's a matter of aligning our administration, as I said, as well as the governing side of things and the sponsorship, and we continue to improve the catchment and the scouting areas for our players in the Wagi team. So we are well prepared. The players already in the field, they're already in the game. They're already in the leagues. So all we have to do is align ourselves, prepare ourselves to give them a meaningful participation.
Kaupa said the final squad will be announced at the end of February. Meanwhile, Wagi Tumbe will have the privilege to host more home games this season at the Means Oval. Terry Longwood, TV1 Sports.
The annual Kokoda Boxing Challenge for 2024 showcases some entertaining bouts on the ring between PNG and Australian boxers. While this has been the commemorative event for the Faziwazi Angels, it presents opportunity for PNG boxers to secure spots at the Olympic qualifying fights in Thailand in May. PNG boxers are eyeing opportunities to qualify for the 2024 Olympics in Paris, France. President of PNG Boxing Union, Dr. Gideon Candino, expressed that 4 eligible boxers, 3 male and 1 female, have been selected for the Olympic qualification fight in May in Thailand. The 4 fighters are John Ume, Jamie Chang, Alan Owaike, and Sila Yama, who is based in New Zealand. They all meet necessary requirements and were considered to fight at the qualifying event. All 4 represented PNG at the recent Pacific Games in the Solomon Islands with some impressive bouts. Dr. Candino said to join them, 1 or 2 fighters would be selected from the annual Kokoda Boxing Challenge this March to add depth to the boxing team that travels to Thailand for the qualifier. The PNG Boxing Union is also seeking corporate sponsorship for those that will be selected from the Kokoda Challenge. Expenses for the initial 4 boxers are being covered by the PNG Olympic Committee. The 4 begin training next Monday, February 5th. Mark Keto will be again in charge of the national boxing team, coaching them into the 2024 international events, including the 2024 international events, including the Olympic qualifier in Thailand. President of PNG Boxing Union, Dr. Gideon Kendino, is appealing to corporate entities and interested individuals to sponsor PNG representative boxers at the regional and international boxing events. He made the appeal after his boxers were unable to participate at the Olympic qualifying event in Italy. He is also wanting junior boxers to participate at the Oceania Junior and Youth Boxing Championship in Tahiti this November. Boxing has long been a sport in the country with a successful record at the regional and international events. However, not a single player has been sponsored to represent PNG at the regional and international boxing events. 3 young aspiring boxers, Lennon Hamby, Sophie Willie, and Les Ascot Pegu, are looking for sponsorship to represent PNG in Tahiti at the Oceania Junior and Youth Boxing Tournament. PNG Boxing Union President Dr. Gideon Kendino appealed to corporate entities to sponsor these junior boxers to represent the country. Dr. Kendino said most of the boxers representing the country today will not be around in the next 5 to 10 years. They must be given a chance to fight abroad and get exposure at the international bouts. He highlighted that PNG boxers did not make it to Italy for the Olympic qualifier in January 2024 because of a lack in sponsorship, which continues to be a challenge. That's all we have in sports. Over to you, Carol.
Thank you, Rex. Another weather forecast for the next 24 hours. Southern regions, scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms with windy conditions. Port Moresby, cloudy with few showers and drizzles. Alotau, partly cloudy with possible showers. Mombasa, scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms. Lae, cloudy with possible brief showers and thunderstorms. Wewak, partly cloudy with few showers. New Guinea Islands, scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms. Buka is partly cloudy with possible showers. Highlands, scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms with some areas of rain. Ocean forecast. Coral Sea sees rough with west to northwest winds of 25 to 33 knots. Bismarck Sea sees slight to moderate, becoming patches rough, northwest winds of 10 to 20 knots, increasing to 33 knots. Coastal waters forecast. Waters of Samaria Island to Cape Vogel and all Milne Bay Islands. Seas 1 to 2 meters, rising to 3 meters along strong wind warning areas. Waters of Finchafen to Vitias Strait to Siassi and Long Islands. Seas 1 to 2 meters, rising to 2.5 meters at times. Waters of southern PNG and Indonesian border to Daru, to Kiwai Islands to Kerma to Yule Island to Hood Point to Samarai Islands. Seas 1 to 2 meters, rising to 3 meters along strong wind warning areas. And that ends another edition of TVWan News. Thanks for your company. Have a pleasant evening. Bye for now.
The TVWan News was proudly brought to you by
BSP, our bank, our people.